After landing on the chaotic world, was excuse me, I knew it was going to be weird. After
Sorry, I
landing
can't.
on the chaotic world of Gamor, our adventurers sought refuge in a humble diner, savoring steaming plates of Gamorrean delicacies. But rest would not come easily. Drawn into the political chaos of warring clans, they attended a feast where Lando, the opportunist, found himself in the very personal favor of a formidable matron. While the rest of the group nursed hangovers, Lando's diplomatic efforts took an unexpected turn. But the
Diplomatic.
action did not stop there. Venturing into Gamor's untamed wilderness, the team stumbled upon a colossal relic of the Clone Wars, a separatist capital ship, its haunting silhouette a stark reminder of the battles long past. What secrets lay hidden within its cold, forgotten halls? Their journey plunged them deeper into the shadows of history as they uncovered an ancient Sith temple where Lamb dared to reach into the Force itself only to be confronted by a specter of unimaginable power. A Sith Lord whispering promises of strength and darkness. Could this be a test of Lamb's resolve? Or the start of a path far more sinister? New alliances, hidden agendas, an eternal clash of light and dark await. Will the hero survive the treacherous trails ahead? Let's find out now on the next chapter of Star Wars Whispers of Hope. We are going to open. As you emerge from the mucky swamp, the heavy tang of decay fading as the ground beneath your boots starts to grow firm. Before you rises a towering forest of mushrooms, their immense caps stretching high into a misty canopy above. The air is damp and cool here, carrying the faint earthy scent of fungal spores, and shafts of pale light seems to pierce through the gaps in the mushroom caps, casting shifting patterns and shadows across the forest floor. As you take a step, it starts to feel alive around you. The crunches faintly against the soft patches of moss and brittle remains of fallen stalks. This is unlike anything you've ever seen before. Some of the mushrooms grow faintly with bioluminescence. It's like what you've seen on Terrace, the light pulsing softly in the gloom. Others have jagged and fibrous edges. The stalks are thick, as if grown from the planet's own fury. There's fungal vines that twist and coil around the bases of the larger mushrooms, creeping upwards like hands reaching for the skies. As you make your way through further, the path becomes narrower, and dense clusters of smaller and various mushrooms. Make me a perception check. I am not in the table.
Oh no.
Well, junk is on edge. You began to notice wooden signs crudely nailed to the thick mushroom stalks. Written in Gamorrean, the script is harsh and kind of slanted. But you don't know what it says because you don't speak or read Gamorrean.
Probably warnings. The Gamorreans called this place a sacred ground. Or cursed, depending on the tales that we wish to believe. That this place should be respected, that there are spirits here that could cause great harm if disturbed.
As you get further in, some signs are more graphic. There's crude figures being struck down by large, shadowy forms. Others are stained with streaks of what looks like dried blood or sap.
Lamb Diota will put on his breath mask and attach a canister. If any of you have other protections, you might put them on now. These spores could do various things to various species, including hallucinations. Be on your guard, and don't pick or shake any of these mushrooms. Running into them could rain spores from above and disable or destroy us.
Yeah, Junk is attaching a canister to her mask.
Doctor?
I don't have a mask.
Well, at least cover up your breathing orifices.
I guess I'll put my shirt over, like my sleeve over my mouth. I don't know.
Lando, you're the only one who can speak and read Gamorrean. You see the signs. Do you want to take a further look?
Sure.
The first one you see says keep out.
It says "rump rop," which means keep out.
The second one says angry spirits await.
This one says "rump rop rop," which means angry spirits wait.
Sound like Chopper. The next one says trespass and die.
This one says which means trespass and die.
Oh, wonderful. So this is definitely a trap.
I mean, we don't.
This
have
wouldn't be
to
the
go.
first time that we've walked into a strange forest with unnatural creatures. Remember Terrace?
As you walk a little further, your footprints start to glow behind you and then fade.
Well, what we're walking on is full of fungi and mushrooms and creeping moss and lichen. Make sure to clean your boots, if not your entire uniform, upon return.
Yeah.
Eventually, the path opens into a small clearing where the mushrooms grow sparse, revealing patches of open ground. Your breath is now visible in the damp, cool air. At the clearing's center is an enormous, twisted mushroom with a cap so wide it acts as a natural canopy. And its base is tangled in a mat of fungal roots. And spores are drifting lazily around it.
I'd like to make a knowledge life science, see if it's poisonous.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'd love to see the DC on this.
DC on this is going to be 25.
I got it.
You've seen something like this before. Not to this extent, but you vaguely recall being in the cave with the mushroom people and seeing spores just like this glow and drift around, almost like fireflies.
Is it poisonous?
As far as you can tell, no, it's not poisonous. You did all right.
So
Well,
what is
Ronan,
Give
cherry
me
mushrooms doing on Gamora? That's what I asked the party.
what do you mean?
This the
give
mushroom people cave where they came from. This is the same mushroom.
Or how can
Lamb.
you tell?
Not Lamb, sorry. Lando. Give me a lore check. Galactic.
Yeah, how can you tell?
I'm gonna tell you
22
two.
untrained.
Good, because you're gonna get your DC was 10 because you're gonna have some of this knowledge. You vaguely recall an old wives' tale from the Gamorreans of a mushroom forest where angry spirits wander. It was considered bad luck to disturb the forest or even enter it.
This is this forest is forbidden not just from the signs, but in Gamorrean culture. I remember a folk tale about angry spirits that rise up and disturb you when you enter this forest.
You also know that the Gamorreans are terrified of this forest. It's it's like the Hook Man. That's how they talk about it. You know the story about the Hook Man and going on a
Uh,
date and all that. That's how the Gamorreans talk about this forest.
I'll relay that with the party.
Well, we've
Lamb. While we're doing this, give me a perception check and a use the force check.
and all right,
Yes. One thing you can see with your eyes, one another thing you cannot. That's why.
all right,
Is that your perception?
yes.
Okay. So, around you, you can see just these vast open areas. You can almost picture it. But as you do, you feel the force around you pulsing with life. You feel the force around you pulsing with life, and you feel your connection stronger in this area.
Hmm. There's a lot of life here. This place is dense with it. Where there is life, and where the life is peaceful, presence of the force is stronger.
You start to feel something sorrow, anguish. You feel it tugging at the edge of your consciousness. But you also feel other emotions. You feel calm, balance, renewal.
It's
Do
difficult to
you
know exactly what the condition of this forest is and what it seeks. That
you're still
knowledge is
tapped into the
usually
force right
unknown.
now. What I need to know right now is, do you want to feel deeper or do you want to let go?
No, it's as I look around and avoid. Well, I'm tempted to touch these mushrooms, the stalks of them at least, but I withdraw instead, saying
Just
and
as you do that, though,
saying
just
instead.
as you do it, just the thought of thinking of to touch them, the bioluminescence glow around you and intensifies, starting to
"Mm,
flick in time with your own heartbeat.
nope, we're not touching that. Nope, nope, we're gonna nope right out of that. As he backs up a step and then another, I can understand why the Gamorreans fear this place.
As you do that, emotions start to swirl through you: pain, fear, loss, a yearning for safety.
I
But
believe that these mushrooms sense us somehow, sense our presence, and they're confused, frightened by our presence here. This may be a good place for our mushroom friends to be. Perhaps they have better communication with the ancient life forms than we ever could. A different understanding, a different relationship. Perhaps we should bring them here.
Yeah.
It would certainly solve one of our long-term issues. Unfortunately, it would mean that we would not have to rely upon your connections, Yondo,
All right.
or Aiden's.
I mean, do we still want to do the mission for Jabba the Hutt? I mean, I kind of,
It is
I
the
kind
Hutt
of
we're talking
promised my
about.
girlfriend that I'd do this mission for her.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah, the Gamorrean chiefess.
Oh, don't tell me you're developing an attraction for this being.
I mean, I never thought I would sleep with the Gamorrean, but it wasn't that bad.
Well, every species is free to choose.
I mean, I don't know if I'll go long term with her, but you know, it was. But I did promise her I would take care of this problem for her. So we do have more reasons to do this mission besides just trying to find a home for the mushroom people. But I think you're right. I think this would make a good place for them.
If we can satisfy those around us, then we can feel safe to move on and move forward. I think that we should try. The mushroom people, whatever they are truly called, they are conscious now, and they are more sentient than what they were. Since
and
their
as you
connection
say that,
and growth into the force that they had upon Terrace is gone now. They are looking for something, for a place like this. Perhaps a place like this is looking for them.
and as you say that, you get a vision instantly. From where you are, you see yourself traveling all the way back from the way you came. Back through the temple, back through the swamp, back through the capital ship, back to the compound, through the spaceport, to the ship, where you can see the mushroom people. You hear one word: home.
It's decided. We need to go back to the ship, recover the mushroom people, and bring them here.
All
This
right. Do
may
we
be the
want to?
place that they have been looking for. And it might be peace for the Gamorreans. It would be a good sign of the Gamorreans that we bring creatures that are similar to what they fear to safety. That we do according to their culture, not only to the creatures that we're taking charge of. Perhaps this forest would be the better for it.
I mean, can that wait? We can't bring them here, can we? Because we still have to go to our destination while we're traveling through this way, anyways. Can we? Before we leave the planet, can't we bring them here? Do we have to go right now?
As
No,
you, as that happens, the sun sets.
if the longer we wait, the more that we might be caught out on an alien planet with complications preventing
Well,
us from going.
we're on a timetable. If I remember correctly, the Gamorrean chief just wanted us to get this. I don't. She create peace or something within a time frame. So if we go back to the ship now, we get the mushroom people come back here. We're just putting that off for further down the road.
I know, I know. But the longer we let them sit amongst themselves, the further they grow away from each other. And becoming independent is not something that their species was meant to be or to do. It would be the same as if we were imprisoned. We became responsible for them while we did what we did upon Terrace. We have other responsibilities here, yes. We have to make a decision.
Okay. Well, we
Before
could
y'all do that,
definitely.
let me do one thing. Junk, roll me a survival check.
I can do that. How about a 15?
That's enough.
Yay!
Junk, as they're talking, you realize the sun is setting. It's already cold. It's getting colder. There's no way you can trudge back through that swamp without getting hypothermia.
If this planet is getting very cold, if we're trudging through the swamplands, well, we're gonna get soaked and get cold. And I mean, how long does it take for hypothermia to put you down?
That's a good point. And I was never really equipped for the wilds. I don't even have a fire rod. Not to mention that we can't exactly burn these mushrooms. Mushrooms don't burn, I don't think. That shows you how little I know.
Is there any wood?
There's mushrooms.
In any case, we can't camp here. There's nowhere to build a fire and nowhere to build one safely.
Yeah, there is. You're in a big clearing. What do you mean not build one safely?
Well, one with a giant mushroom above. Smoke rises. It's going to get into the gills of this giant mushroom above us. And then what? It is not safe to build a fire here.
But by the time it gets up that high, it might dissipate
I don't
enough.
think we have a choice. I mean,
Well, then what do we have that we can burn? And we need a way to start it burning.
I guess we could try to burn the mushrooms.
Well, check your equipment. See if there's anything that we can use.
Y'all gonna have to figure this one out. Everything is there for y'all. Figure it out.
Junk will check some of the mushrooms, see if they're kind of tree-like, like burnable.
You can
Or
give me a
firewood.
perception or a survival. You
Now,
decide.
Doctor, I have a security kit as part of my cover. Might there be anything in there that we could reappropriate?
23.
For what are you looking for? Tell me what you're trying to do, and I'll tell you.
Yeah, she's checking these the mushrooms around, see if because different planets can be weird sometimes. Maybe some of these mushrooms are tree-like, and so we could use them for firewood.
As you put your hands toward the mushroom stalks, you realize that there's various fibers. And it spreads. They're dry. Dry to the touch. You're pretty sure you could burn this. You're pretty sure it would go up. It's wood, but it's fungal wood.
We can get a fire going.
Okay, let's get that fire going.
Yeah.
I don't have a bedroll. Does anybody have a bedroll or anything?
No.
I guess we're
Part of
sleeping
my
on the
training is
ground.
to Unfortunately, I do not. Most of the time I spend sleeping. If it's not a bed, then use I'll use my communion with the Force to rest
Oh.
instead. So I don't have what we're looking for.
Yeah, if I had a pilot droid, I could get the pilot droid to fly a Starfang over here, but I don't have a pilot droid.
Well, let's not worry about what we don't have, but what we do.
Well, I did have a pilot droid before it got raided by Mandalorians for no reason.
By the way, do you have a surgery kit on you as well?
I do. Is anybody
Hmm.
wounded? I could perform some surgery.
Well, just to let you know, I do have a spare. Unfortunately, I don't have anything. Well, I do have one thing to start a fire with. Although it's beneath the elegance of this weapon to do so.
Don't worry. I think I got this. As she's already probably like gotten a mushroom down, started getting into pieces into a pile.
Are you sure that it will burn? Are you sure the fumes will be safe?
I don't know about fumes, but I know that this is
Let me
like
look at it,
thankfully.
and I do a knowledge life science check to see if it's safe to burn.
Roll it out. Your DC's 20.
Assisted by me, I also have the skill.
28.
As far as you can tell, this is just dried fibers.
Should be safe.
Well then, once we have a pile, I'll draw the lightsaber and light it and guide that plasma into the pile until something catches fire.
As you light your lightsaber and draw it into the pile, you see the lightsaber cut the fibers, but they glow in ember. What would you like to do from there? That's all that's happening as you stick your lightsaber in it.
That's
Well,
enough.
the part of the lightsaber does create heat upon contact. Give it a minute.
Look, it got embers. That's enough. That's all I need.
All right.
And she'll gather like some that she had broken for kindling, kind of bunch it with the embers. She'll pull her ass down so she can start blowing gently into it, just coaxing the embers to life.
As you start to blow, the embers glow and flicker. And the forest around you seems to glow and flicker with the embers. The blues, the greens, and the fire, and orange yellowish as it roars to life. The edges of the fibers starting to curl and burn.
Well, I suppose that's
now we
easy.
put
The only question is how long this will last. I'm able to enter Force Trance and survive until, if necessary, I can bring you with me.
yeah.
As the fire crackles and the lights casting shadows against the towering mushrooms, the earthy scent around you, and the sweetness and the glowing spores drifting lazily. Over each and every one of you comes this tranquil, peaceful feeling. Give me a perception check to whoever wants it.
I got a 16.
Suddenly, from the edges of the shadows, there's a pair of luminous eyes reflecting in the firelight. and then
Oh, I'm
another.
with a 29.
Some type of small creature, no larger than a loaf of bread. Cautiously, it emerges from the shadows, covered in soft, mossy fur that shimmers faintly in the bioluminescent light. Its nose twitching as it looks up, resembles kind of a cross between a rabbit and a possum. It hops a little closer in a jerky rhythm, the long leaf-like ears twitching as if though it's communicating with one another. You hear a series of soft chirps and trills. One creature scampers up close to the fire, tilting its head.
It's not natural for creatures to approach fire, or unfamiliar creatures. This must be an extraordinarily peaceful place.
You know what?
Others start to form along the edges of the shadows.
My college dissertation, my thesis was on panspermia, the evolution of life through interplanetary means. This breed reminds me of an animal back on Coruscant, like a little rodent type creature that, even though it's a city creature, it was held in pets and stuff like that, or city. So yeah, that reminds me of my college dissertation.
That's quite an interesting subject, considering that you're a medical doctor. Transpermia is more, well, it broadens cosmology.
Yeah, well, that was my minor, cosmology, but no, life sciences. You have to study intergalactic species and stuff like that, and I made the link. That was my thesis of you know
So
uh
cosmology got you interested into the stars?
no, pretty much I always wanted to be a starship captain. But here, let me try to get these creatures. Let's see if I can pet one. Come here, little guy. I snap my fingers.
As you do, one hops closer to you. Just hop, hop, hop. It sniffs the edges of your fingers and tilts its head as it looks up at you, your towering frame over it.
I'll pet it.
It kind of jumps back a bit, but then leans forward.
I'll pull out a ration and try to feed it.
It takes a nibble of it and then takes no more.
Uh,
Maybe they don't eat. Maybe it doesn't like it.
As you do that, two more hop up to you and start sniffing at your feet.
I would like to
Move
make a
gently.
life science check to see what this animal is, what its name is.
Oh, okay, yeah, you make a check. It's going to be a hell of a check. Your DC is 30.
I'll use
So
a force
close.
point.
You're going to force point that, okay?
Got it.
You don't know what this is. You've
I
never seen a creature like
I
this.
I pet. No, I already told you. I've seen it
All
on
right.
Coruscant.
Yes, but this one's different. There's a glimmer in their fur.
Okay. What do I
There's
know
only
with a
one
past
way.
check though?
You know this by examining them. As a doctor and as that, you know what you've seen breeds or something close to this. As far as you can tell, this is some type of vegetarian animal, and clearly the fur is like that of moss, so it thrives in this environment.
Uh, I think I've discovered a new species of creature. This is a vegetarian herbivore with plant-like fur. I'm gonna call it plant rabia. Plant rabbit. A plant
Well, isn't there?
a plabbit. A plant rabbit. A plabbit.
Plabbit.
I
Climate.
put my name in plabbit. Take a picture of my dead pad. I take a picture of the plabbits. Make a little entry. I'm gonna submit it to a scientific journal when I get some free time.
Give me a perception check. Your DC's 10.
It's quite the accomplishment to find a new species. You should be proud. It might even be named after you.
On your
27.
data pad, the picture you've taken, all you see is orbs.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Just orbs of light.
I'll try to take another picture.
More orbs.
I'll take a picture of junk. Does it come through?
There's just orbs around junk. Speaking of which, junk. There is a creature sitting on your foot.
Junk is just kind of frozen there. Just kind of glances from her foot with the animal to the others, to her foot, to the others.
It reaches up. It uses a paw and plays with its ear, kind of brushing at it, as it then looks back up to you and tilts its head.
What do I do?
Well, the creatures seem harmless, at least for now. But let's not have them get too close, shall we? This is an alien place, and they are as alien to us as we are to them.
She'll reach down and kind of poke it.
It's there. And you feel the fur. You feel the life form. It kind of just takes its paws and puts it around your finger.
Yeah.
Junk. Can you figure out what's wrong with my camera on my data pad?
I could try, but my finger has been claimed. She got to kind of wiggle her finger with a little bit back and forth.
It kind of does a little hop with your finger and between its little paws.
Eh,
Oh, this is important. I need to submit this paper to a scientific journal. I need pictures.
okay, yeah. Let me get my finger back, little thing. Little plabbit.
As you say that, it lets go of your finger. But other little creatures scurry up behind you. You're kind of surrounded by creatures.
Okay.
Lamb. This is to you. You have 20 or 30 creatures around you just kind of staring at you. You just see beady little eyes all around you. You there?
Oh no, Zax is dead.
Zax died.
Rest in peace. He lived a good life, doing what he loved.
Well, Lamb has gone one with the Force. At this time, we play our condolences. That's all right. We'll continue until he comes back.
Yeah. I
Can
gu-
Junk
guess
make a mechanics check to figure out what's wrong with the camera?
that's
Sure.
what I'm about to
Let's
do.
sort that out first.
You're back.
You are alive. Alright.
And he died again.
Still here.
Oh, you have
Or
20 or 30
are
creatures
you?
around you. Just their beady little eyes staring you up and down.
Well, it's time to slowly stand up and reassert my independence from. We may
Not
want to find
tripping
out
balls.
exactly what's. We may need to find out what's wrong with his camera.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got a 35 for looking over his camera.
There's nothing wrong with this camera.
Mm,
As far as you can tell,
Sure.
you're taking pictures just fine. Even as
Yeah.
you test it and take a picture of yourself, you're there. But the little creatures behind you are just orbs.
Uh, well, the camera is working fine, which can only mean I think this is the right term. We are tripping balls.
And we're definitely not alone. It could be that these things are spores themselves. They're definitely not what they seem.
I would like to make a life science check to see if their biology does not show up on cameras.
Sure. DC 35.
27.
Your DC was 35.
Why is it
As
so
you don't
hard?
even know because you don't even know what these are. Now you're trying to figure out if their biology
I
is of that.
passed my roll to figure out what they were.
Yeah, but these is an unknown. There's a reason why. There's a reason why, but I'm not just going to give you the answer. There is a puzzle here.
Okay, I'll write down. Can I make a life science check to write a scientific paper on these creatures?
Yeah, you don't even need to check on that. You can write down everything you're studying about them right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna win. Uh, I'm gonna be published in a scientific. It's not my first published. I say out loud. It's not my first paper I published, but this is, it's good to publish a scientific paper every once in a while. Like I had a double major, one in medicine, another in zoology. That's why I'm an expert in life science.
Well, on second thought, that may not be the best idea because researchers might be bold and desperate for knowledge, but traveling all the way to Gamora, especially when we've just recently left the mushroom people here, if we decide to do that, it's probably not the best idea.
Well, Gamora's a hostile enough place, and this is a forbidden forest. I'm sure they researchers aren't going to bother with it, but it would be good to have some information out there out in the galaxy about these creatures. Then again, some researchers are bold enough to come here.
No, their honor isn't the question. The honor isn't the question at all. It's a determination of whether they can keep to this delicate biome and to keep it stable for the few creatures that are
Yeah,
meant to multiply.
scientific researchers usually are good about preserving the environment, in this field of study. So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Well, regardless of what these creatures are and our new discovery, we need to survive the night and to make sure that these curious creatures are, well, we don't know what they are, whether they're creatures, whether they're living beings. energy or spores from the forest slowly gathering around us, waiting to claim us as we sleep. This is a problem. We need to
They're
solve it
definitely a
before
living
we
creature.
sleep.
It's a hybrid between a plant and an animal, specifically mammalian. But a plant animal hybrid is rare. Even in zoology, even though all the galaxy, a plant animal hybrid is usually rare. That's usually typically when things evolve, they either go down the plant route or the animal route. Never both, but there is some mix over, like some plants that eat animals and some plants that even walk. But a plant animal, I don't know if it's. I need to get in the lab and see if it's more plant or more animal.
Hmm. They might have some innate property that prevents them from being photographed. If that's the case, that makes them and elements of their being extraordinarily valuable. I'm not so sure that we should reveal this information quite yet, if it is truly what we're seeing.
Well, I'm gonna get the paper ready. I could hold off on submitting it until we're done with our adventures.
I'm sure there's a lot to explore to make sure that this is a true find and not just an illusion that we're having.
Well,
Remember where we are.
plus part of the scientific process is you have to research to make sure no one else studied it first.
I find that
So
unlikely.
yeah, I'm gonna have to scour the hall and net looking for these creatures. Everything on Gamor, what's known about them, the area.
What was your field of study as a doctor?
Well, medicine, general medicine for humans and alien xenology, and zoology for and xenology for life sciences. So I'm pretty much a life science master.
With an interest in cosmology.
That was my minor. It was something to pick up.
Well, why did you decide to? I'm getting ahead of myself. And these creatures are unsettling that are surrounding us.
They're curious for sure. Maybe because no one comes in these forests, and maybe they like the warmth of the fire. I don't know.
I could see why the Gamorreans are unnerved by them. Well, I'm not sure what to do. What I know is that my eyes are, and I can't entirely trust these small creatures. We need to decide what to do from here. We certainly can't bed down to sleep with these unknown creatures crawling.
Well, yeah, we're just camping out, waiting until morning, I guess, and then I guess we're going back to the ship and bringing the mushroom people here, and then we're continuing on our quest with more if everybody's still down to do that. Uh, make peace with the tribe, Gamorrean war that's going on. Try to find a way to make peace. Matriarch's counting on me.
So, what was it that we were out here for again?
We're going to a
I kept.
location the matriarch gave us to make peace in the war, and it'll become clear when we get there. I think that's what was implied.
Hmm. Well, in any case, we certainly can't be distracted by this place or allow ourselves to be bogged down here any more than we were in the swamp and the things that we found there. All of those things, I think we need to keep secret if we can.
Hmm.
And Lamb paces around for a little bit, hoping
The
that
creatures
these,
follow you.
you see, they have no fear. They have no fear of life forms larger than themselves.
Maybe
Well,
this area
actually,
is unique to predators, but that
more
might
of
make
them.
sense.
There's only 2 or 3 around. Lando, and Junk. You have 20 to 30 around you.
Perhaps it's my connection with life. Well, I certainly won't be able to get to sleep like this.
Try to pick one up with the force. See what happens.
It's been a while since I've used that ability. It's one of those things that draws a lot of suspicion. Yes, let me try. I will move light object on the one closest to me to draw it up into the air so that I can eye to eye.
As you do, the object starts to float, but its fur starts to glow with the bioluminescence around you. The other little creatures start to chitter and chatter around you.
Curious little thing. As I gently rotate it in front of my eyesight so that I can see all parts of it. Turning it over so that its legs are face up, returning it to its position to allow its legs to dangle, just giving it the once over.
Just as the creature slowly turns and its eyes meet yours again, it twitches its nose, flicks its ears. Your saber starts to float.
Nope. Nope. I'm grabbing that with my free hand, allowing
I
this creature to gently float back toward the ground.
As you do, your saber floats back down.
uh
Now, now the little
interesting.
creatures around you. Now the little creatures around you. They flick their ears, wiggle their noses, and little pebbles off of the ground start to float around you.
Very interesting. And I'm writing shit down, and I'll say, "Do you speak Gamorrean?" And Gamorrean.
The creatures are curious about you, but they're unresponsive.
I'll speak all my languages, see if they speak anything.
As the pebbles are floating, they slowly start coming down, one by one.
Are these sapient creatures or are these animals? Are they animals that can use the force? I never heard of such a thing.
Many creatures are strong with the Force. These appear to be among their number. Some creatures exist within nature so deeply that they have greater access to the forces, to the cycle of life and death.
That settles it.
They're
I can't publish these findings. The Empire will be all over it.
That is true.
They banned pretty much use of the force and the mention of it, so
Right.
they'll exploit this planet for everything it's worth if I publish this.
Keep watch over me for a moment as I reach out and attempt to sense the force, which would be a DC 15. Use the force check. Should have done this before.
Oh, the force is all around you. Each one of these creatures has its own point in the force. You can feel it. You are surrounded by the force.
These
And
things
as you
are
do this, the creatures wiggle their noses, flick their ears, and you feel as if you're being scanned by 20 or 30 little creatures.
So these are living beings, infused with the Force itself. They are like children, like toddlers. No, even simpler than that. They have instincts, but little more. But they are infused with the Force, all of them. They
See
are
if you can
definitely more than what they seem,
see if you can
and they are
talk with them
drawn
with
to
the
the Force.
Force. See if you can talk with them.
No, I will not do that. As I grip my saber firmly, it is not our place to use the Force in every instance that it appears to us. Sometimes the Force needs to be left at peace. These creatures seem to pose no threat to us, because if they would have, I would have detected that. So at least we have that to our advantage.
Okay.
What you do know is, closer to this fire, it's warmer than it should be. Your breath is no longer visible.
It's good fuel, whatever you found, Junk. It's good fuel for the fire.
Yeah, it's just whatever this mushroom is.
Well, I suppose as long as one of us keeps watch, then the others might get some needed rest. So we
Okay,
do
I'm
need to
going to
organize.
sleep first, and I lay down and close my eyes.
As you lay down and close your eyes, the creatures hop up to you, about 10 or so, and cuddle up next to you.
I don't do anything. I just let them do it.
To you, it feels like being covered with a moss blanket.
Well, Junk, I suppose that leaves the two of us to deal with these creatures.
Do, do you want me to take watch first? And
It can be either one of us.
right, I mean, it should be safe around here. At the very least, if these little plabbits suddenly start scattering, then it, that could be a sign that something bad is going to happen.
It could be. It seems like there's a herd of them. For whatever purpose they've traveled here, perhaps drawn by the fire or by the. They're too curious for their own good.
Right. Get, guess I'll stay up for a bit, and then I'll wake up the captain.
All right. If that is the case, then I should probably take my rest with the Force. Instead of sleeping, perhaps communing with the Force in a place like this might be more refreshing. If I enter a Force trance, just to let you know, Junk, I will be fully aware of my surroundings. The trance is a healing method, a centering method, more like meditation than sleep. But it is extraordinarily refreshing to the soul and to the spirit. And so, if I take merely half the night, it will be as if I took another advantage of being strong with the Force.
All right then.
In which case, wake me, and then I will continue. Or I will wake up when the Force trance naturally ends. So I kneel down, settle into the Indian position, attach my lightsaber firmly to my robes, and use the Force to enter a Force trance. I only need a DC 10 for this. Don't roll the 1. Nat 20. In this peaceful place, I let go of my fears and accept these small creatures, however mysterious they are, as companions for the night. And I will enter a Force trance for 4 hours. Good night.
Junk.
He's gonna sleep
And-
so hard.
Good night, Junk. And as always, may the Force be with you.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the creatures around me, as they copy elements of the Force, enter the Force trance as well, and they are no further trouble to us.
We will see. You're going to enter your trance first.
Oh, yes. I will do that with a nat 20. Thank you very much. And get
As
some
you enter,
well-earned rest.
as you enter your trance, I'm picturing you crisscross. How are you entering your trance?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the good old
Crisscross
Indian style.
applesauce.
Yeah.
As you do that, you're not going to notice it. You start to float. And around you, 20 or 30 little creatures start to float around you. Congratulations, you have taught the creatures Force trance. But Junk, you were the only one to see this. If you want to remain awake on watch, I need an endurance check.
Okay. Oh, good. My best skill.
Okay.
A 21.
For the first hour, you are awake and alert. You still see Lamb and the little creatures. Lando is covered in about 10 creatures or so. He's in a deep sleep himself. Everything is peaceful and calm. I need another endurance check for the second hour.
Ready?
Something is opposing us. Something is opposing us. Trying to get us all to go to sleep.
A nat 20.
You are in the zone. You're just
What?
in your own little world. You're thinking of gears and droids and things.
No, to help her keep awake, she's got laid out like a like her tower, some sort of covering, and she's been disassembling the heavy blaster pistol, reassembling it, just doing something mechanically.
Let's get another endurance check for the third hour.
Ready. And watch this one be a low roll.
Net one, come on.
A 19.
Your eyes start to droop. And while you were wide awake earlier, it starts to hit you now. Everything you've been through. The swamp, it's taking its toll on you. You close your eyes just for a moment. And go ahead.
I was just like, because that. Nope. Okay. Wait.
When you open your eyes again, all the creatures are gone.
Okay. Well, it's probably time to wake the captain up. She'll go over, kind of shake shake Yondo a bit.
What? No, those are my planets, not yours.
The planets are gone.
What do you mean gone? Where'd they go?
Yeah, I don't know. I blinked and they were gone.
You'll
Hmm.
also notice that the air around y'all is cooler, a little bit colder. It's only near the fire that you get the warmth now.
You might want to throw a bit more mushroom onto the fire.
All right, is it my watch? All right, go to sleep.
Yep. Good night.
And I will throw stuff on the fire, and I will.
And
Huh?
as you throw more stuff on the fire starts to roar to life a little bit. But you can't get quite as warm as you were. You still have a little bit of a chill.
That's fine. I will get out my long range comms and try to find an open comm frequency to talk to somebody.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there?
Hey, what's up?
What's up with you? Where are you
I'm
at?
on. I'm on watch.
On watch?
Nowhere
Where?
particular.
How are you?
Just,
How are you on this frequency? Where are you calling from?
I'm just looking for somebody to talk to. I'm just out in the wild.
Out in the wild? Where?
Don't worry
You,
about
you're
it.
not. You're not out there on the planet in the wild, right? With those beasts?
The Morians? Yeah, of course.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Where are you at? Are you in orbit?
I'm at the garrison. What do you mean? How'd you get out there?
Oh, what garrison? Are you an Imperial? Interesting.
Aren't you? You're on an Imperial channel.
Oh, okay. Uh, no, I'm an Imperial citizen. I was just looking for people to talk to.
What are you doing on this planet?
Research.
You're wild, man. You gotta come see us. You gotta come by sometime. We have drinks, food. You gotta come
Yeah,
see
where
us.
you?
Come on.
Give me your coordinates.
You get a ping of coordinates.
Okay. What's your favorite holovid?
You have holovids?
What's your favorite holovid?
We ain't got nothing. They wiped out the dish a few months back. Is this your first time on planet or what?
No, I've been to Gamor before.
You've been here before?
Yeah. My name is Captain Lando. What's up?
Captain Lando. Oh, I haven't talked to anybody over this comm frequency in ages. I thought I was going insane.
Well, glad to help, buddy. Hey, you'll never guess what I did the other day.
What'd you do?
Slept with a Gamorrean chieftain, a matriarch.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. she she
No.
she started hitting on me and telling me how hot I was, and I was like, hmm. At first, I was against it, but then I was like, you know what? Why not? You only live once, right?
You wouldn't believe the stuff I've been through, man.
Tell me about it.
I just got I just got transferred here. Believe it or not.
Hmm? Are
It's a
you
long story.
are you? What do you do? What's your occupation?
I'm a trooper.
Okay,
Was a trooper. I'm not sure what I am anymore.
okay.
Professional juggler.
You looking a way off world?
No, I'm stationed here.
Ah, okay.
It's what I get.
Yeah. What do you think about the Empire, man? They're kind of crazy, right?
Well, it was supposed to be, meet exotic life forms and bring freedom to the galaxy. But
Right.
fucking mercenaries, man. I'm fucking sick of them.
I'm a mercenary.
You just get silence, is what you hear.
You there? What's your name, buddy?
You're playing with me, right? You're not really a mercenary, right? Come
Well,
on.
I mean, I've done odd jobs before. I mean, I would actually call myself a full fledged mercenary, but I'm an imperial citizen. I'm a starship captain.
Man, you don't even want to hear my story. You wouldn't even begin to
I got
understand.
all night, buddy. Just let me know. Tell me.
It all started on Kessel. That's where it
On
started.
Kessel? What are you doing in
Yeah,
that backwater place?
fucking horrible place. It's all over the place. I kept running into this group over and over and over.
What group is
Did,
that?
did you hear about that group that was just captured?
Oh, yeah, the Heroes of the Pit. Yeah, I heard a news bit about that.
That's what I get.
What's your name, buddy?
Gary,
Nice to meet you, Gary. I'm Lando.
it's just okay. Look, I got mixed up with some pirates. Okay,
You got
and
mixed up with pirates.
yeah, it was
Okay.
it was like 3 years with this pirate group. Okay, aboard this destroyer, and I don't know, shit was crazy. All right, there was pink and green and fucking voodoo lady. Uh,
Hmm.
you know them force users. They're supposed to be dead, but they're still around. There was this one in that group, weird looking girl.
Hmm. Interesting.
I'm just it has me so angry. I got sentenced here for conspiring with this group, and it just all I do is run into them. They were there on Magito. They're fucking there. I was in the fucking snow, and they were fucking there.
Hmm.
Now I'm on this backwater fucking world, and let me tell you, the Empire when they send you here, they don't care. Nobody cares, and all these Gamorreans do is wage war on anything that moves. We had ATSTs. They destroyed those.
Maybe I can get you some holovids or something. You paying?
I just talking to you, just having some type of civilized life form to talk to, that is something. The guys at the garrison would just love you. You should come by, have a drink or so.
Yeah, I might just
Chill
do
for a
that.
moment. I'm sure, you said you're out there, right, on watch? You're
Yep.
all them creatures and stuff, all the weird things that happen out there. Oh, just
Oh,
some
I
civilization be nice.
I discovered a new species. I started writing a journal about it, a scientific paper.
A new species.
Yeah, I call it a plabbit.
Oh, there's all kind of little creatures out there. You're not out in the swamps, are you?
Yep.
How are you even finding your way out there? It's just endless on the horizon from what it seems like. We don't even leave the garrison.
Mm.
We went on patrol one time with the ATST, and all they did was stab their spears into it, attack it over and over. And if we attack them, the whole planet goes to war.
Mm. What do you know about this Gamorrean war, by the way? We're tasked by the matriarch to stop it.
Always fighting. Always. I'm just glad they're fighting each other and not us anymore.
Mm. You don't know anything about the war?
There's a war every year. Every year they're fighting about something. Every year. This year they seem to be more active than usual. It's there's one clan out there, and they just seem to be picking a fight with everyone,
What
but no
clan is
one can
that?
challenge them. The
Which planet
one
is
with the
that?
black and red banners. You've bound to come across them sooner or later.
Do you know the name?
I don't care to know the names, to be honest. I'm
Mm.
just glad I don't have to see that fucking group any fucking more.
Oh, okay. Well, sounds like you just had a couple coincidences. I don't know. Maybe they were stalking you.
Kind of feels that way. Started to question my sanity, but you know, being out here, you start to get a feel, you know?
Hmm. So, anyways, about these plabbits, they're little furry bunny creatures with green moss on them. Can you believe that?
Did you try eating one? All we have is rations, man. We don't even get to leave to get food anymore.
They were
Tell me
very
he tastes good.
curious. Very curious creatures. No, we haven't tried eating them yet.
Just some real meat, something tasty.
I can bring you some rations if you paying.
We have rations. I want real food, something hot.
Like what, bantha steaks? I can bring that too.
Oh, if you bring me one of those. Hey, we have a nice Corellian whiskey here. You bring us some bantha steaks. Well, I'll share a glass or two with you.
Yeah, maybe I can do a run. Like go from Gamora to the nearest planet with banthas, and come back and bring you some bantha steaks. It'll cost
I
you.
mean, if you, I will pay. We got some credit. We got Imperial credits. You take Imperial credit. You got to take Imperial credits.
Oh yeah, I take Imperial credits. It'll
Oh,
cost
you
you,
bring some steaks here. All the guys would just love that.
let's say, double cost of the steaks plus another 100 credits for spaceship travel.
You got it, man. You got
Okay.
it. Bring them here. We'll share it over a glass, over the campfire. Oh man. Hey, you ever taken one of the walkers for a spin? You can't leave the compound with it because the Gamorreans will go crazy. But man, you bring us some of that, I'd be willing to let you take a ride in one.
Yeah, maybe when I'm free, I'll stop by. We'll hang out, and I can get half the payment up front, and I'll be back with those steaks and get the other half, and and maybe I'll bring some hollow bits too.
Uh, the colonel's yelling at me. He's telling us to get back in uniform. I gotta go, man.
Okay.
But I'll see you around. You got the cords now,
Yep. See you, Gary.
and the line cuts.
All right, I'm gonna save that hollow frequency to my data pad, or the common link frequency to my data pad. And then I'm gonna try to look for other comm links if I can find any.
You're not gonna find anything.
No Gamorreans. I can
Nope.
speak Gamorrean.
Nope. No Gamorreans.
Okay. I'll just finish writing the paper on my watch,
Well, that
and
conversation and his paper take about an hour, so you can wake up
oh,
now if you want.
Rowan Lambdiota slowly unfurls from his position, stands up, does a few knee bends. Much better. Spending time with the Force certainly centers things. It makes me eligible for watch for the rest of the night if that's required.
oh, you're
I
up.
require less sleep than normal when I use the Force to aid me.
Good news. I got the Imperial Garrison frequency on. I found it. I talked to one of the troopers there, and I might have gotten this a nice little side gig. It's really easy. Just delivering bantha steaks to the Imperial Garrison. What do you think?
I heard the conversation. After all, force trance really isn't sleep, so I do remain aware of what's around me, even though I don't interact much. This
Hmm.
trooper friend of yours doesn't sound very reliable.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. It's we don't have to go, but I got the coordinates for the garrison. We can go meet some new friends. I don't know if we want to make friends with the Empire though. I mean, we are kind of
Hmm.
working for the other team.
Well, there is no other team. There are rumors of a rebellion, but we don't know whether it actually exists or not.
We know Aiden's crew. They're kind of
True,
dedicated. They have a whole fleet of starfighters.
well, it's not the sort of organized rebellion that seems safe to join.
Well, it's one
There's a
cell.
lot of
There's probably other cells too, and maybe they'll join up. Who knows?
I should hope so. I hope that there is some resistance to this empire, because it has perverted everything good that we've chosen to believe in.
Hmm.
It's an empire based upon fear, based upon power without purpose, for the glory and the wealth of a few. It's a sad case. It's what the Republic tried to prevent, or at least tried to contain so that no empire got large enough to threaten innocent beings beyond their own.
Uh huh.
So, since we'll be awake for a while, I assume, what got you into smuggling? Why smuggling?
Well, it's just it's the life. It's the captain of your own starship, controls your own destiny, trying to make it out there in the world, making connections, um, getting quests. Uh, you know, I've done legit jobs too. It's not all under the table, but just space transport. That's my real passion in life.
It seems like a long, lonely life, traveling from place to place, not really having a home of your own.
Well, the Starbank's my home, and it's not that lonely. I had Aro for most of the part of it. Um, he passed away before we met you.
Oh, I heard you mention him. I don't know a lot about him. It
He
seemed
was a
like you
good
cared
guy.
for him very much.
Yeah, when I met him, I was he set me straight on. I was willing to take the dangerous jobs. He talked me out of it, and we teamed up real quick. He kept me in
Like,
line. He was my how do we say this, safety valve. He kept me on the smart, taking the smart job instead of the dangerous ones.
how do you know the difference?
You just have to. It's case by case basis. You have to feel out each job and decide for yourself what's dangerous and what's smart. Sometimes it's a trap. Sometimes it just sounds too good to be true. Sometimes it's a lot of pay, but it's a really shitty deal. Like the amount of heat you can get in, trouble you can get in with the Galactic Empire, or rival gangs and stuff like that.
How do you sort out the traps from the risks of profiting from the trade?
Well, like this one time, I delivered. This is not my proudest job. This is actually how I met Arho. Um, I was delivering weapons to a Black Sun gang on Nar Shaddaa, and they turned around and shot at me. And Arho kind of saved my butt back then. He got me out of there, and he was like, "Look, I'm a engineer. I need a job as much as the next guy. I like you. Like we got to know each other, but you got to stop with these dangerous missions." And he kind of set me straight after that.
Hmm. The Black Suns sound treacherous.
Yeah, all I could see was the financial reward at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean?
Well, it's certainly not always wise to chase credits. Credits don't tend to keep you warm at night.
Yeah, but I don't know if this Imperial Garrison job goes through, and we can make an easy 1,000 credits, just jump one system to the next. You know, pick up some bantha steaks, come back. You know, it's a legit job. It's just we're working for the Empire. Well, we're working for the people who work for the Empire. It's not really an Empire job, so it's just, do we want to be that close to the Galactic Empire or the people that work for them?
It doesn't sound like you signed any sort of binding contract.
No, it's all an option. We can visit the garrison or not. It's up to us.
Well, I'm glad that you're still alive. It's unfortunate that you lost your partner. I hope that he is one with the Force.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, I lost him because the Empire in general, like the leaders of the start, at least that section of the Empire, you know, detained us and put us on their damn Star Destroyer. If they didn't forcibly detain us and let us go about our business when we were helping them, then maybe he wouldn't have died. So screw the Empire.
Was it a deal gone wrong? Or did they find out about it? Were you doing anything illegal?
No, well, it was the plague on Terrace. I made the antidote, and I didn't have any way to distribute it, so I went to the Empire and they detained us.
Hmm. So this was just before we met.
Yes,
Why did you even come to Terrace? Was that a job?
believe it or not, Arho wanted to take a vacation. He specifically wanted Terrace.
A vacation to Terrace of all places. Why?
We heard about this resort city that was in the jungle. It sounded nice, so I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Oh, of course, Tal Shair.
Yeah,
Yes, one of the few remaining places of greenery on that broken place. It's a shame
yeah.
what happened to them because of the
Apparently,
plague.
it's the one door spot on Terrace. We were supposed to get like the full thing, but they shot our ship down. But we were taking a shuttle. Thank God it wasn't the Starfang.
Hmm. So everything went wrong there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we met. Hmm. Did Aro have family? Do you?
What was that?
Did Arho have family? Do you?
Yeah, I'm family. Back on Coruscant, Arho, he didn't really have anybody. He had an ex-wife, but they long separated a long time ago.
Hmm. Another wandering soul. Not that I judge him. I didn't know the man. But I imagine that in the smuggling business there are a lot of wandering souls.
Hmm. Well, I wouldn't.
Did you like the
I
job?
mean, yes, it is the smuggling business, but we're not just smugglers. We take any job we can get. Like, for example, is this if I go do this Imperial job? Is that bringing bantha steaks to the Imperial garrison? Is that smuggling? Not really. That's just transporting.
And you've already tacitly agreed to do this.
Yeah, but I don't have to follow through. I did give him my real name though, but
Huh. You sound like a scoundrel indeed.
yeah, but you, know, as you said, you heard the conversation, so that's how I pick up jobs, stuff like that. You know, you never know what's out there.
Hmm. So you were on Coruscant, living, I don't know what level you lived on.
The upper level.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, that's a surprise. Why did you leave that comfortable life to And you were to become a doctor, a medicinal doctor on Coruscant? You could have
Yeah,
stayed there, lived the high life. Why did you leave?
wanderlust adventure. I want to be my own captain, travel the galaxy, make my own fortune.
No, it had to be more than that. After all, the dedication required a medical doctor. It takes years to learn that craft.
Yeah, and I still use my skills to this day. I mean, I discovered the antidote for the Terrace plague. I heal you in combat. You know, it still comes up from time to time in my medical training, but the medical thing was something my parents wanted me to do, and I figured, you know what?
Ah,
While I'm in school, I'll play along right now. I'll play good little son right now, and I'll go to school and all. But I realize, I'm meant for much more than just being a doctor on Terrace, or not on Terrace, on Coruscant. I'm meant for much more than that. I want to explore the galaxy, not just sit in one place and live in luxury.
that's the first time that I've heard you mention your. You've been separated from them for a long time.
Hmm. It should be
Is
about 55 or 60 now. Can't remember, but I'm 30. I've been a starship captain for close to 8 years after I got my all my degrees.
still, even in the trade that you're in, you should have contacted your family at least once or twice since then, right?
Well, I popped in for like a holiday or something, and they don't approve of my new lifestyle, but it's good to keep in
Ah,
touch with family.
now I'm beginning to understand. A noble family, a black sheep who decided to fly away to the stars.
Pretty much, but I got the best
Thank you
education
indeed
money
for.
could buy out of it. I mean, I'm good at xenology and medicine and a little bit of general education and a little bit of cosmology.
Do you think that you owe them an explanation for what you've done? Or what life you've chosen to live? Or have you talked about it?
I mean, I already kind of explained it to them. Like, I want to be a starship captain. They didn't understand, but yeah, it's my life.
Well, you certainly didn't follow their investment. I can
No,
understand why they'd be at least a little resentful.
I mean, yeah, I did kind of. I guess you could say I lied to them because I went, I did the schooling like I was going to be a doctor, and then I turned around and did something else. I could see that they were pissed about their investment. Sure.
Have you spoken about this with them?
I mean, no, I mean we didn't get too much detail, but I've seen them since then. Yeah.
Hmm. Perhaps it's time to clear the air. Perhaps to tell them that you're an adventurer, that you've decided to save an entire planet through the skills that you have. Perhaps they'd understand.
Hmm.
Well, the Force has led you to Terrace for a reason. It led me to Terrace for a reason. Reasons that we did not expect, but we made it through. And
Well,
perhaps, if things go
if the
well,
Force led me to
and we'll,
terrorists, number one, it didn't have to shoot down the shuttle I was on, and number two, it could have asked nicely, and number three, Arho got killed. What's up with that?
well, sometimes destiny doesn't ask nicely.
It could. Why doesn't it try? Has it ever tried to ask nicely? Maybe I would do it.
It's hard to tell what mindset that we need to be in, what place, and what time to be truly ready for our destiny. Some people never are.
Hmm.
For some, when destiny comes, it's because they are not ready, that they are shaken into being the people that that they are fated to become.
Mhm.
Sometimes it involves great tragedy.
I wonder where the planets went.
I don't know. While I was in my force trance, they copied my abilities. And once they copied my abilities, they went off to join a force trance of their own. They are very receptive creatures to elements of the force, and they attempt to replicate them.
Hmm.
Force can be a very strange thing, affecting species or individuals in unexpected ways. It has a powerful effect on the weak-minded.
Well, I don't think I got
That
a
is
good
not,
picture
that
of
is not
one.
the,
Maybe I can
certainly
hire
not.
an artist to. I'll describe him from memory. Maybe he can draw him for me.
Yet another curious thing. Perhaps it is their defense mechanism, so that they are not chased after or identified by the outside world, only to be a tail in the mist in a place like this. They're innocent creatures. We should mean them no harm, us no harm. I strongly suggest that you do not publish your paper.
Well, because it was connected with the force, I'll hold on to it, but I still want to do it for my own benefit.
Perhaps.
And
As all,
maybe one day I'll be able to publish the paper without fear of the Galactic Empire.
true. But it is also true that creatures that are close to the Force need to be protected now. It's a different world than it was before the attempt at the assassination of the Chancellor started all of this, started the Clone Wars, amongst other things. The Force is now fragile, delicate, sophisticated in its way. Where it appears, needs to be protected so that it can be allowed to grow. The dark side has become dominant now,
Yeah, I
in
always
some
wondered
way,
about
and
that.
in many.
But seeing you, you have all of these kinds of powers and stuff. If the Jedi really wanted to assassinate the Chancellor, how were they stopped? Is my question.
That I don't know. The Jedi Council was insular. It was private. It attempted. Well, you need to understand what the Jedi used to be. Most of the Jedi, I pull out my lightsaber, were of different classes than I am. I'm a Jedi Counselor, hence the green of my blade. Most Jedi wore lightsabers that had blue blades. They were warriors, wardens, warriors, more like paragons of goodness of the light side of the Force. They would go many places and settle disputes with violence if necessary, but with diplomacy primarily, and with their knowledge and their belief in concepts larger than themselves. That's true of all Jedi. But those forward facing Jedi, those who went out into the world, there were thousands of them, tens of thousands of them. For them all to be struck down so quickly, it doesn't make any sense. But there are many who remain, those on the outskirts, those who escaped this purge that the Emperor has since issued. It's illegal to even talk about my now. I still don't understand it.
Oh, I have two questions. Uh, do the Jedi typically assassinate political members? And number two, if how could they fail at that?
Well, no, never. They never use force to determine the free will of individual planets or societies,
So
much
what
less
really
galaxies.
happened? What really happened then?
They, the Jedi Council, is not only insular, but there are layers of knowledge. This is part of the reason that I was sent away. Jedi are not meant to gather certain types of knowledge about the Force. So I can only speak from that perspective. I know little of the Jedi Council and lost track with the general methods of how the Jedi interacted with the galaxy. But I do know that the Jedi warriors, most of them, became commanders of these great clone forces. And then immediately after, well, immediately after, I shouldn't say immediately. My memory's fuzzy. But not long after the defeat of the drone army, the clones themselves turned on the Jedi. They were, well,
Why would they do that?
probably for attempting to assassinate the Chancellor. That was clearly said by the Emperor himself, that the Jedi had become corrupted and that we all need to be destroyed. Because of our beliefs in the Force and of things beyond ourselves and beyond the galaxy, an understanding of life and death among us, bring forth to the people, was a great loss.
You know what? I don't buy it though. I mean, I've seen you in action. If the Chancellor's just a normal dude, like he's just a normal Emperor, just a normal Chancellor, and the Jedi wanted to assassinate him, they wouldn't be able to stop him.
Now, it's also true that the Jedi could have become corrupted. It's a small number, the Jedi Council. They could have been corrupted from the inside, by the dark side. It's possible. But you're right. Even if they were corrupted, Chancellor by himself would not have been able to stop them. It must have been a defense by the clone troopers. After all, the clone troopers turned on the Jedi everywhere that they existed. It's one of the reasons that I'm alive.
Huh. I don't know. I wasn't there, but it seems kind of fishy to me.
I don't know the details. I wasn't there. I don't know any of the details. And there are fewer and fewer clone troopers around these days to tell the tale. Maybe we won't know all of the details of what happened. But I do know that the Empire and the itself have turned to tyranny and have turned to the darker portions of power.
Yeah.
The dark side rises with them. Although the Emperor is very clear, perhaps there is hope somewhere. But now power grips the galaxy. And that's one reason that we probably should not make a great fuss in this potential deal with the local Imperial garrison.
Yeah. I mean, it's a choice we got to think over. I'll tell Junk in the morning, but like, we wouldn't be working for the Empire. It's more like recognizing that the troopers there are people too, and the people have needs, and they're hiring us. I don't know. Probably not going to do it. It seems like a trap, honestly.
Hmm.
Like
As I now have my
even if it's not an intentional trap, like I haven't talked to their commander yet. I get there, he's probably going to ask me some questions and what are you doing here and blah blah blah. Who knows?
I pat the lightsaber that I kept in my lap, and I answer, yeah, who knows? Perhaps another adventure for us?
Perhaps. See, this is why I liked Arhu because he was good at thinking through these missions and stuff like that. And he was the guy that decided what we were doing most of the time.
Hmm. The planner behind your operation.
Yeah.
So tell me more. You say that you delivered things. You did deliver weapons to the Dark Suns,
The Black Suns. It's a gang on
the Black
Narshadal.
a gang, delivering weapons to a gang. Hmm?
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it wasn't my most proudest moment. It was I was it was a dark time. That was before I met Arhu. Before he vetted my fishes for me. Really. Now I'm on my own. Well, I got you guys, but it's different.
Everything is different. Are you satisfied with being a smuggler, adventurer?
Oh,
What do you
absolutely.
call starship captain? That's what you call yourself, isn't it?
Yep,
Star
absolutely.
frigate captain.
You know what? I got some stocks in certain businesses too that might pan out and pay me my yearly dividends. I got one coming
Really?
up. Yeah, this
Well, I know that from our adventures on Terrace that you're fond of credits.
hmm yeah, I did some
It's
work with this
unfortunate that your swoop bike racing career didn't pan out. Yet
I won
another
that
adventure.
tournament. Yeah, I won that tournament. Maybe I can enter a circuit or something. Who knows? The galaxy's my oyster.
That's true. It's another unexpected skill.
But we don't have a bike. We'd have to build one all from scratch again. That was expensive.
That's true. As I look over at the sleeping junk, well, we do have a mechanic, to be sure.
Yep.
Turn the light off.
Hi, Junk. Are you sleeping? Hey, maybe we should. Do you have a Sharpie? Maybe we should draw a mustache or something.
Now leave Junk alone. Junk has been through quite a lot, almost falling several times. It's adventure is not for everyone.
Yeah, but think about
Sometimes
it.
the
We'll draw a
young
funny
are gone.
mustache. We'll draw a funny mustache, and then laugh every time we see her, and then she'll have to figure out what we're laughing at.
I can see why Aro was the brains of the operation.
Hey, I'm pretty smart. I got a couple degrees, but yeah, I understand. I'm a prankster sometimes.
Hmm.
Speaking of prankster, I
You just
can't
have
believe
to.
I had that
Okay.
adventure with the Gamorrean uh, chieftain.
Oh, please.
Yeah, that was the last thing I
This
was thinking
is,
about when I came here.
and this is probably the last thing that I want to talk about.
Good
After
point.
all, your adventures with the
That's
matron are
nice.
certainly private.
Because I'll play except for like an hour or two.
Have you ever, and I kind of gesture expectantly, have you ever
Uh, you mean had a partner,
had
a life partner?
relations? Yeah.
No. And it's not because of a Jedi law of some kind. I get asked that question a lot. It's because my studies took me far and wide, and because I spent years trying to resolve the costs of doing so. This
Are you,
lightsaber that you see before you, the robes, the mantra, the knowledge, it could all pass into nothingness soon. The Jedi and their connection to the self being erased, as if the Force is no longer important. That living creatures and their empire, their weapons, and their power, and most of all, their pride, is more important than life itself. I think on it sometimes, that I might be one of the last of my kind. And due to some of the things that I've done Sometimes I believe that I'm deserving of the bad things that have happened to me and to those close to me.
Oh, don't think like that. Come on, after this adventure, we'll get you a girlfriend. How's that sound?
Personal relations are not wise for a Jedi. It is only because we need to remove ourselves from many of the pleasures of this life. It is not for us to resist them or to not to enjoy them. We cannot allow them to become central to our existence so that we can remove ourselves from the grave tasks Jedi often find themselves in. Why? Jedi could be central to the fate of a planet. It's part of the reason that I resisted the call of the mask on Terrace. We knew too little. There was too much at stake. There was no way. You know that the mask called to me, don't
Uh, it called to you?
you? Yes, at the very peak of things, as we were ready to defeat this strange Force user, the light side of the mask called to me and bid me to put it on as she had herself. I saw the danger in it and decided to resist the Force. Blind
Interesting.
allegiance to anything, including the Force, is
Well,
dangerous.
you know what? It's been fun talking with you, but I really should get some sleep so we can all wake up in the morning. Maybe we should all talk when Junk's with us too. I feel bad talking without her.
Yeah.
Oh, Junk will be fine. Junk needs the rest and recuperation,
Well, I
as we
need the
all do.
rest too. I only got a half sleep. Was my watch. So now that you're up, I'm gonna try to get some sleep again. Here's my long range comms if you want to play with that. Or
Well, the last thing we want to do is attract anyone else here, although there would be few that would make the journey.
okay. Well, I'm going back to sleep.
Good night, Captain Lando.
Nighty night.
I'll take my second watch and wait for the sun to come up.
Man. Junk pulled the longest watch of 3 hours. The captain pulled 1 hour and be like, okay, I'm done with this.
It's been longer than y'all think. The sun's already starting to crest the horizon.
Well, I just out of character, I just didn't want Ame to sit there and listen to us talk for the whole fucking session.
No, you're fine. That's fine. I had already sent Junk a message in
Yeah,
the chat while y'all were talking.
yeah,
Okay, well, it makes sense for me to get some more
that,
sleep. So there you go.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
why she was just like, well, it feels like I only been like 1 hour to sleep and the sun already up.
Well, now I suppose it's time for Wartug to show up.
Ortug's already there. Y'all just now noticing him.
Probably eating on a
I assume
mushroom.
I'm asleep.
I'll go over
To
to
you.
Wartug
Whatever you want to
give
do, Ortug.
Wartug a good little nudge as the sun starts to come up.
Oh, don't bother me. I was having a dream. Land of chocolate. It's great.
Well, we
Head to the store there.
remain in
Chocolate,
place.
half price.
We're in the middle of a mushroom forest, and it's forbidden forest. You're not allowed in there, but we're in there.
Well, I'm telling you of my dream.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I was in a land of chocolate. And I was running around. Everything was made of chocolate. Then I got to the store. Chocolate, half price. Can't beat a deal that good.
a dream of food.
Yeah, big what? Want to fight about it?
Well, it's time to awaken the rest of the party and resume our journey to relay the message that we've been ordered to do by the Gamorrean matron.
No. She's a bitch.
Hey.
Well, it's time to awaken everyone else up and get moving.
Does that time already? Good morning. I got double sleep.
Wake up.
I forgot how sleeping on the ground is. Oh.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? That's why we need a pilot droid so I can command the Starfang to get over here when we need it.
Well,
But they're
our
We
expensive.
need actual sleeping bags and mats.
it's true. We do need to be better protected for adventures out into the wilderness like this. But I'm sure some of this might be familiar to you.
Yeah, I thought a lot of my experience with the outdoors came from when I was younger. It had bit more energy and pep in the step before my health all went to shit.
Ortug, we have decided that perhaps the mushroom people should come stay here. This place is strong with the Force and contains creatures who are. This could be a healing place for them.
But yeah, mushroom people, mushroom. Yeah, makes sense
So
to
what
me.
what do we want to do first? Do we want to get the mushroom people here, or do we want to go finish with the matriarch quest?
Well, the matriarch's quest could be more complicated when we arrive. We don't know this planet very well. We could be delayed there for quite some time. But we do have the opportunity and the time, if it risks the other mission, bring the mushroom people here and settle them here for good. It depends on which risk we want to take.
Oh, Junk Ortug, I contacted the Imperial Garrison last night because I was looking for random comm frequencies to bide my time during watch. And I met this nice trooper. His name was Gary. We had a conversation for a while, and I might have a side job for us to deliver steaks. What do you think?
Well, Gary's a silly name, but sounds like a good gig.
Probably a couple thousand credits in it for us just to go to a different planet, get some steaks, and come back and, simple run.
Why do they want a steaks on another planet?
'Cause they don't,
Well, there
they
is
don't have
only
enough
one
in
spot.
here.
You can eat just about anything on this planet, but when it comes to the rest of us,
It's entirely possible that the Empire has forgotten about a place like this, considering the large armies that they're building, the Navy in particular.
Oh, maybe we can get the supplies on planet. That would be even better. We won't have to leave the planet, and we make a run, get 1,000 credits or whatever. Easy peasy.
Well, as long as we keep it quiet. And as long as we
What?
keep the arrangement quiet. As long as they're capable of keeping the arrangement quiet.
It's up to y'all if you want to visit the Imperial Garrison or not. I'll leave it up to y'all.
I'm going to search my feelings about that. Even though I have a good feeling about it, the Force may not agree. DC 15, dirty 20.
The Force says, yeah, you should go. Hmm.
Well, I see no harm in it. After all, these are isolated people. far less likely to play politics with the Empire from this far away. It's a tiny outpost. I'm willing to bet that it's probably run down in need of repairs. From the pieces of the conversation that I heard, even while in forced trance, I am aware of what happens around me. So I got some of the conversation while the force flowed through me. I see no harm in it. After all, even though they work for this organization that looms over the galaxy, they themselves may be more innocent than some.
It's if it's a rundown place, and I I I could probably make a couple credits fixing some stuff up.
Yes,
Hmm.
I think we should go.
Okay. Well, after that's our mission's on the docket now. We have to bring the mushroom people here. We have to make peace on Gamora because I promised my girlfriend that. And then we have to visit the Imperial Garrison and give them some bantha sticks. And then we're free.
Well, the decision that we're trying to make is, do we make the mushroom people who are separated from the force and are diverging from each other unnatural? Do we allow them to continue to do that or
My
do
vote,
we deal with it?
my vote is we're closer to the coordinates that the matron gave us than not. If we turn around now, it's going to add a lot of time. Like I say, we continue with the matron's quest, and then after that, then we reassess and get the mushroom people here. Like if we turn around, we have to. It'll probably be another day just to get there and back, and then we're a day late for the matron quest.
But let's not forget something else. The entire reason that we've come here is at the behest of one of Aiden's friends so that he could determine a safe place for the mushroom people. If
Yeah,
we've
but I
already found it,
yeah, I mean we could just not get involved, but I did promise my girlfriend we would do this.
the matron.
Yeah,
True. But if we are no longer bound by the overall quest that brought us here, then we can bring the mushroom people here now and treat the other quests here on Gamor as secondary. After all, the Gamorreans are most likely capable of dealing with each other in their standard ways. It's not our duty to be involved in this place. If these were earlier times and it was the old Republic, that would be a different story. But the Jedi Order no longer exists, and its standards of trying to do the greatest good for the greatest number, those things have fallen away into darker times.
yeah, but it's stopping a war and making peace. I mean, my girlfriend thinks we can do it, so I don't know what she has in mind, like what exactly is the quest, but we'll see.
You are convincing me. Junk? Ortug? What do you think? Ortug, you're from this planet. You should know those circumstances and the relative risks more than I do.
Well, just risking everything. You just go to the store and someone, shipping you for your bag of orange milk. I
You
haven't
have
thought of
orange
that
milk.
question in a long time. That's what they call it, but I don't know what it comes from.
Yeah, I'll give you this, Ortug. You know this. The
Hmm.
clans seem a bit more tense than they normally are. They're always warfaring, they're always raging war at least once a year. But something seems off. The matron seems almost a little scared.
Hmm. Well, maybe they picked a fight with someone they can't beat.
Perhaps the
More than they can
situation
chew.
between the clans here has changed.
Hmm.
Changed in a way that we're not aware of yet.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't tell us.
Well, the Force has brought us here. We decided to complete our affairs on Terrace, traveled part of the galaxy, and wound up here. I believe that every destination is a destiny of its own, whether great or small. If we are here to stop this war, and the war has been mentioned directly to us, I believe it's our destiny to try to prevent that war, and to prevent as many deaths as we can manage.
Yeah, so
Captain,
maybe we don't know if we
I
have a
think you're
day
right.
or not. Yeah, we have to do this major quest. The mushroom people are
I think you're
fine.
right.
They're on the ship. They're fine. They haven't. They'll get here eventually. We'll take care of them.
And upon further reflection, this place is strong with the Force. My first contact with them was not as productive as I would have liked, but this place is greater than I.
Oh, Orta, what'd you make of those plavets last night? And just to give you a recap, they were rabbit plant creatures that can use the force in this mushroom forest.
Oh, well, I remember like a drinking game is you take a small one of those and like you try and bite it essentially before it bites you. Like you hold it up to your face.
Oh, are these
It's you
known
know,
creatures not a new species?
not that I know of. I might be confusing with something else we use. There's a lot of creatures that try and bite us and we bite them.
No, these were friendly.
Must be thinking of the wrong species. What do they look like?
Rabbit creatures covered in moss.
Hmm.
They look like rabbit possum mixes covered in moss.
Hmm.
They could not be photographed. Every time that we attempted to do so, they showed up as glowing orbs, much like the large spores that you see from this giant mushroom above us.
There
Okay,
is
then
something
what the?
else you should know, Artug.
Hmm?
The mushroom forest you're in is one that's known for particular bad spirits. The way Gamorreans talk about it is kind of like the Hook story. You know, the guy with the hook when you go on a date and he stabs the hook in the side of your car. It's treated like that. Those types of wives' tales.
Oh, yeah.
This mushroom forest is considered to house bad spirits, and it's said if you wander in here that you would be enveloped by bad spirits and die.
Oh man, that reminds me of the story.
Hmm.
You kind of just. Oh, it's very, kind of a long story.
That is true. There might be more here than there first appears. Reasons for the Gamorreans to fear. I think that we need to move on and come back here and leave this forest and the mushroom people to each other. Perhaps it's better for everyone, including us.
Okay, so the mission docket is solve the Gamorrean War by going to the coordinates the Matron gave us, and then bring the mushroom people here, and then visit the Imperial garrison. Do we have that right?
I guess so.
Okay.
Then let's use this device that we've been given to continue toward these coordinates. Hopefully the rest of the way is uneventful.
That's all we hope. Let me sing you a song of my people. I won't make the noise
Oh
again.
no, please, please! I won't judge you one bit. Do it. It'd be hilarious.
I don't even know if I can.
Oink oink,
You can
sword
try
sword,
whatever you
what a
want.
relief it is.
I will tell you this: I love the idea that you were taking these little creatures and turning them into a drinking game. I was like, "Yep, those are the same creatures. That's what you know them as." This is your world.
Yeah,
You
it's my
tell me
world.
what you do here, Ortug.
Well, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of fighting. I mean, it's pretty simple life. You people and the outside, I just love to complicate things. Like, let me have a good meal on the table with my hands. Let me have a good drink in my arm. Let me have a good fight in my day.
Spoken like a true Viking.
A good song in my heart, you know? A nice swamp, nice sun hitting the beautiful swamplands, you know?
I sing a
And
Gamorrean song in Gamorrean.
and then, you know, when you're crossing the duck boards, it's only big enough for one person, and the other guy comes up on you. You gotta have a knife fight with that guy, and then he becomes your best friend. But you know, and you go on a, you know, you're like going to hunt down other Gamorreans for money, and you know things go south, and you know you're cheap. You're I guess you would call him a chieftain. Decides to build a castle to rob a bunch of people crossing a swamp, and that all goes south when they betray some other Gamorreans, double cross him because that's a long story. They come kill him. You escape, and you know he gets hung for you know trying to eat an important person's face at the side of the road. It's a life living here.
Oink, oink,
Yeah,
snort, snort, squeal, squeal.
it's
You
it's
know, Ortug,
uneventful.
you're very articulate for a Gamorrean. You know that?
Well, thank you. I like to think I'm well learned. You know,
You're like a
I
matriarch, but you're a male.
I think they call that patriarch. I heard it in a movie.
I think it's just hilarious because the rest of the group, you're just grunting at each other.
I have a long story. Would you like me to tell it to you?
It's unfortunate that I can't speak to you directly, Ortug, but I'm grateful for the company, especially in this primitive place. You're an asset here, and I thank you.
Primitive. Maybe primitive. There's 8 different things I could kill a man within arm's reach right
Ortug
now.
says he wants
How's
to
that
headbutt
primitive?
you.
Oh, I meant no insult. Primitive is not an insult. Matter of fact, those cultures that have less of technology and the things that they've built, in many ways, they are closer to the Force.
I think the more civilized a man becomes, you know, the far more removed he thinks he is of, you know, getting his getting scalped because he said something to the wrong guy, and he puts himself in a false sense of security. Now going around the galaxy, you know, thinking that this will protect him or that. With words on a paper will protect him,
Ortug's
and then
quoting
he gets
philosophy now.
then he'll get scalped, and you know, he'll know his paper was useless. No,
Something about a guy and his loneliness, and he's pretty deep Gamorrean. Too bad. Like you don't understand how smart Ortug sounds when you talk to other Gamorreans, and then you talk to Ortug.
no.
It's like he's the Einstein of, or the super genius of Gamorreans. I don't know.
Well, then he's even more of an asset.
I get my reading
Well,
done.
can't believe I didn't notice it before, but I was away from Gamorrean for so long, I forgot how they talk.
Mostly in insults, you said?
Well, I don't need to insult any of you guys yet. Just don't give me a reason. We don't have to go there.
All right, let me teach you guys how to speak Gamorrean. 1 grunt for hungry, 2 grunts for very hungry. You ready? Rop, rop, rop. Let me hear it. Let me hear
Ah,
it. No,
Why is he
rop
trying to make
means
Oh,
noise?
very
Why is
hungry.
he?
Rop, rop means very hungry.
No,
Come
no.
on, let's hear it.
It sounds eerily similar to "I want a mate." You're getting it mixed up.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's in the tone. It's a tonal language. Remember, all tone.
Yeah, you gotta
Is
do it like
that
you're
why
gonna
you
headbutt somebody.
slept with the matriarch? Because you
Uh,
accidentally thought you were saying that you were hungry, and she heard that you
no,
wanted mating.
no. She hit on me and thought had the hots for me, and I after so many drinks, I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's do this.
Mm.
Their drink is very powerful.
Yeah,
Even I succumb to it.
but I had a fun time. You know, I didn't expect that.
We found you riding a skull.
Eh,
See?
I
Sounds like me.
don't even know how I got in there.
The way that works for you, Ortug, is to you, it's kind of like they took one beer and they all became instantly drunk.
Yeah.
I
That's
drank like
okay.
5 of those things.
Yeah, but to like Ortug drank like 15.
What do you want? That is a woman's portion. A small woman.
Hey, the women
Or
are.
tug.
It's a matriarchal society, Mister Ortug. The women are the
Oh,
leaders.
Uh,
I'm not talking about my women. I'm talking about your women.
well,
My woman's the
or
chief of
tug.
an entire
I
tribe.
one I am a woman, and two, I'm basically the size of your leg.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to meet another matron soon, hopefully to stop a war.
Okay.
Is
So,
that what we're
well, I
doing?
trust you to do the talking.
Is that what we're doing? I don't know.
I don't
Uh,
know how we're going to convince her of this. You'll need to do a lot of talking and information gathering. For the rest of us, it's best if we keep quiet. Gamorreans take anything as insult and they take it seriously.
Well, yeah, I mean, it, one day is not enough to teach you a full language. It's probably better to talk their language.
It's a language rich with insults and put downs.
Yep.
Goddamn right.
It is one of those rare languages that is built how they are. Well, let's get moving.
Okay.
right.
What?
Scene change. You hear, Kurtz?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Give me just a moment.
DM is loading. Please wait.
Yes, yes. This is one of those moments where I'm switching between computers. I just unplugged a external hard drive.
Uh-huh.
So those who don't know, I have a new computer, high-powered one. Like we're cooking now. I can do all kind of cool shit now. So, all right. Let's see here. This is the forest.
Congratulations, it is now edible.
You meet the creatures. There we go. Here we go.
We ate the creatures. Mortug
Ortug,
did.
put them in a drink. As y'all venture back into the mushroom forest out of the clearing, the air grows heavier. The tang of decay and damp earth, the bioluminescent glow from the fungi starts to dim, replaced by patches of bare ground where roots have torn and scorched. And up ahead, you see broken trees leaning at jagged angles, as if their trunks have been splintered. The ground is marred with deep gouges and scorch marks, and the shattered remains of crude weapons, stone clubs, rusted blades litter the area. Give
Wait,
me A perception check to whoever wants it.
Stop. I mean, I'm pausing in place, and I'm going to take a look at these scorch marks. What could have done this?
It's stuck here. Oh. Boop. All right.
Here, Junk, take a look at this. What do you make of this?
What you see is a Gamorrean banner lying in the trampled dirt. The colors are dulled by grime and torn, and there's a corpse, clearly Gamorrean, slumping at the base of a massive mushroom. Its weapon still clutched in its lifeless hands. There's gashes across its body. Burned out torches lay scattered around, their suit marking the nearby tree trunks. And there's strange markings in the dirt. Junk, you notice this. In the debris of the dirt, you see scorch marks from blaster fire. And the footprints, they're not Gamorrean. They're almost droid-like.
Hmm. These are
Lamb,
droid tracks.
around
see
you,
it.
the air feels unnaturally cold.
I look around, look at the broken trees, the broken bodies. I have a bad feeling of this.
Oh, what's wrong?
There's well, these are droid uh, footprints.
Why would
Well,
droids be
actually,
here? This is a primitive planet. It's not
no.
supposed to have this level of technology.
Hold up.
Why are there droids here?
I am doing knowledge technology on the droid footprints.
Your DC. Hang on. Well, I'm thinking of a number here. So here's how I'm gonna do it.
Well, before she
1
even
is
makes
20,
that
2 is 25. 20. DC 20.
I got
You
a
got it.
29.
Those are battle droids.
and the tracks have to be recent.
It's a battle
Remember,
droid.
this is a
See?
world that is part of that was part of the Confederacy. So there might have been droids here long ago, but those footprints would have long since vanished. These are
Well,
fresh.
well, we did come across a command ship for these droids.
Well, we would have encountered those tracks between there and here if they came from the ship.
Which means someone had found it already and commandeered some of the droids, and now they're active.
That's a
No
good
one would
guess.
leave a capital ship there that's worth millions of credits. No one salvaged that ship since then.
Well,
Unless stupid
what if
Gamorreans.
well, if they have no means of salvaging,
That's true.
especially when they can just get themselves instant army.
I mean, just getting the cord to the ship, just get off world and say, hey, I have the salvage of a lifetime, and you could sell that location. Get pictures, maybe. You could sell
Is
that
that
for
what you're
thousands of
thinking?
credits to the right buyer.
Is that
Millions.
what you're thinking of doing?
No, I'm gonna get Aiden's people and salvage the capital ship if we can commandeer it.
That's true. That's a much larger reward than anything else that we could offer. And it's a much larger concern of his, anyway. It might be a source of refuge for his people.
Yeah.
So what's happening is that we're stumbling across things that are larger than the quests that we've taken on ourselves. And the only reason that we're engaged in this now, because we made a promise. And even Gamorreans have the right to life. If we have the opportunity to end a war, we should try. As for the capital ship, we can come back to that later. Probably the last thing that we do on this planet. But the way
Well,
forward just got more complicated as well. Because
the last thing.
if they have droids, that changes the balance of the war. We're talking
True.
about technological advantage that's centuries ahead of what the Gamorreans are capable of, or a Gamorrean clan.
True.
This could change the entire scope of the planet and who controls it.
Gamorreans wouldn't be smart enough to program the droids, though. And doesn't Separatist droids need a remote controller or something?
That's what worries me. These tracks are fresh. Droids, simplistic droids, the B1 models, they can't do much other than what they've been directly ordered to do. In the absence of a controlling effort, most times they shut down. The later models of B1s were able to continue the orders that they were given and simply repeat them without a central authority. Most of the older droids, once you close down the top of that hierarchy, the entire droid army, at least locally, went with them. I find this very disturbing. I don't like it. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer. Let's investigate this battlefield a little more before we reach the matron.
Okay then.
Let's look for droids. The B1 battle droids, at least before I was separated from the Order. I was taught a little bit about them. They're not very smart. They're not very fast. They're not very well armed. Their advantage is numbers. And in a large-scale battle like this, it's entirely probable that just by sheer numbers that some of them fell here. Let's look for them, see if we can find them, and what condition that they're in. Maybe we can learn more from the Gamorrean side of things.
Alrighty then. Well,
Let's search the battlefield.
Yep. Jump will start searching.
Battle droids, weapons. Let's see what's left of them. They didn't have this battle. I find it extraordinarily unlikely.
This field is made out of field.
Dirty 30. If I find something, I'm going to summon junk over to me. Here.
You don't see any droids, but what you see is drag marks, as if something was dragged away from the battlefield.
You see this? These are tread marks.
Something got drug away.
Something large, heavy.
Maybe Gamorrean corpses?
No, look at the gouges in the ground. Those are the gouges of something heavy digging into it as it's being pulled away. Something large. Look at the regular edge.
All around you, Lamb, you feel cold.
There's been a great battle here. A great loss of life. This wasn't a battle. It was a massacre.
And just then, just on the edge of your hearing, you hear what sounds like a desperate cry, but it's gone as soon as you hear it.
Full sprint.
Where are you sprinting to?
Sound of the voice. Full sprint.
You have no idea where the voice came from. You're just sprinting at this point.
Now, I'm picking a direction. I'm not going to stand here and do nothing for a cry of help.
All right. What you feel is a surge of dark emotions lingering around you.
Searching around, looking at the broken trees, the broken Gamorreans, and the strange absence of any kind of droid refuse or wreckage or anything like that. I finally come to a halt and just listen and try to figure out where that cry is coming from.
Do you close your eyes? Or are you just opening, looking around?
Well, yeah, I'm going to close my eyes. It'll help me hear better.
What you hear is sounds of battle, clashes of weapons, cries and grunts of Gamorreans being slaughtered. You hear blaster fire.
Sometimes visions come to those who have the Force. Past, the present, possible future. I can hear the battle happening. Do I hear blaster fire amid this?
Yes, you hear the blaster fire in the vision. You also hear something else as the vision comes to an end. Something bubbling.
As I come back, yes, there was blaster fire here. Those were probably droids. Let's look for a place of a source of water, a source of moisture here, a lake somewhere perhaps. Pond. Start looking.
Um,
That's where our next clue is.
okay then.
Spread out. Stay within sight of each other. This is a battlefield, and it's a recent battlefield. Some of these creatures might still be alive. If they are, if any of them are, call out to me. The doctor and myself can assist.
I guess a survival check to try to find a body of water. A 24.
Ortug, what do you know of Gamorrean battles? Is this normal? It can't be.
Oh, where are all the bodies?
That's true.
Where's
Where are all
where's the
Gamorrean bodies?
yeah? Where's the evidence of the drinking parties of afterwards? Where are the heads mounted on stakes? It doesn't seem like Gamorreans fought here at all. I mean, other things fought here too.
Obviously, there's a great battle. Blaster fire. Great loss of life. I heard a bubbling in what I saw of the past, a bubbling sound. That's why we need to look for a source of water or mud, a place where evidence might be buried. We need to spread out, search for clues, learn more before we approach the matron with what we've found. If for no other reason, then we can tell the difference between what the matron says and what truth we find out here. I don't like this at all, and I don't like the large-scale presence of droids here. That doesn't make any sense for a world where the clans fight amongst themselves with Gamorrean warriors.
Junk, you notice this. In the distance, you see walls.
And you got some walls up this way.
Ah, that must be the fortress for the clan. The battle is fought just outside these walls. What's the condition of the walls? As I move toward Junk to investigate myself.
That is a good question.
Is this a Gamorrean settlement or merely a war outpost? Do we see any flags? Banners, war banners. As a matter of fact, we just saw the one with purple with the previous body. We might be looking for that same banner here. Spread out. Search for clues.
Looking for travelers.
Uh-oh.
And
DM, are we at the cornice the matriarch gave us? Is this what she wanted us to see?
hello. Let's do a radio check. Who's here?
I
I'm
don't
here.
know.
I'm here.
I am.
Take a break. Phone call for the DM.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, pausing the recording.